Hello everyone, Ryan here again. So I recently listened to At the Edge of Uncertainty by Michael Brooks, and this is of course like a preloaded MP3 player. They're called Playaways, all-in-one audiobook. Pretty cool. Even though sometimes I do listen to audiobooks on my phone, I don't know, sometimes I like to be able to listen to audiobooks separately from my phone, so this is a pretty cool idea. Essentially what this is about is a lot of the history of different scientific discoveries, and also about the fact that when different discoveries were made, they were dismissed right away, and people didn't really take them serious serious enough to actually consider them to be any kind of valid scientific discovery. Some examples include, the Big Bang Theory, DNA, other things like natural selection, evolution, and so that's pretty much the first half of this audiobook. And then it also moves on to much more extreme discoveries and also experiments, research. For instance, I didn't know that there was actually this guy, and his name escapes me. Well, his name was also kind of difficult to pronounce. But sometime, I want to say in the 1920s or 1930s, there was this guy considered himself a scientist, although he really didn't have any kind of formal teaching or degree. He believed that he could combine human DNA with animal DNA in order to create some kind of hybrid creature or hybrid being that would then eventually evolve into something much more, I guess, something much more capable of surviving harsh conditions. And so, yeah, he ended up going to different countries. Mostly, I want to say, one of the first countries he went to was somewhere in Africa, the small village in Africa. And he pretty much forcibly, of course I don't want to go into the details of it, but he forced some women to be, I guess, inseminated by the semen of orangutans. One orangutan in particular, and yeah, it was pretty graphic descriptions. But not only that, I mean, I guess I was shocked by that, but also shocked by the fact that this guy actually did this. He actually did this, and so, and of course, obviously, he didn't succeed. It didn't work. His experiments didn't work. But he kept trying, and I guess it wasn't until he finally ran out of money, and then because he was actually funded by some institute. Again, the name of the institute escapes me. But I mean, I was mostly shocked by the fact that this guy actually did this. But I mean, yeah, he eventually stopped because he ran out of funding, which obviously is a good thing. But then obviously I know, and the audiobook, and the narrator goes on to talk about the fact that while this guy did, he went about this in a very extreme kind of way, there are actually scientists to this day who are trying to do something similar, except they're doing it because they have the access to the right kind of tools today, the right kind of technology today. So they're able to experiment just with DNA and tissue samples, skin samples. So, but even today, by today's standards, I guess, today's scientists who are, experimenting with combining animal DNA with human DNA, even though they're not forcing anybody to have sex with animals, they're still receiving a lot of ridicule, especially by the different institutes and foundations who they seek funding from. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, I feel like if it yields any kind of positive outcome, because essentially what some of these scientists are trying to do is be able to create, excuse me, they're trying to be able to, I guess, ensure that, say, if a patient is in dire need of an organ transplant, whatever that organ may be, they want to at least have some kind of backup thing, where they can take, say, like a kidney from an animal and not have to worry about it not being compatible and just go ahead and transplant it. But I mean, that's just one thing. And obviously, too, another thing they're doing is trying to grow artificial organs, in a laboratory, trying to be able to grow kidneys or hearts. I think they're even working up towards trying to grow an actual brain, a human brain. To me, that seems very interesting. Obviously, I know a lot of people have a lot of ethical issues with that. For me, I really don't. I mean, I feel like, if somebody really needs an organ, or if somebody really needs like some kind of transplant or transfusion or something to save their lives, then to me, I say, why not give it a try? It's, I don't know. It's obviously, I don't know. I guess it's kind of a touchy subject for some people, but again, for me, I feel like it does seem to be necessary at certain points. So, but that's just me. Also, too, there's a lot of very philosophical stuff throughout this. Another thing I found fascinating was the fact that the author, or of course the narrator, who was reading this book, talks about the fact that the author likes to, I guess, talk about the fact that, well, not the fact, talk about, well, yeah, likes to talk about the fact that a lot of different scientists are becoming more and more convinced now that it's possible that time itself is an illusion. Time is actually much more of a distance of measurement than anything else. Time is not really, time is not what we consider it to be. It's, and it's certainly not, doesn't adhere to numbers on a clock. Clocks really just measure themselves. Yeah, I don't know if that's easy to understand. For me, I don't know, I guess I do kind of tend to think about stuff like that a lot too. Overall, I mean, I do give this audiobook 5 stars. There's a lot of really interesting stuff. There's a lot more stuff to it. I could ramble on and on about it, but it's definitely worth listening to or reading, because there is print edition of this. I do recommend it, especially if you like stuff that really makes you think, and also if you're pretty open-minded when it comes to different scientific discoveries. There. So yeah, 5 stars, definitely. That'll do it for this review. Thanks for watching. As always, till next time, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.